everybody, welcome back to EdAmerica TV. Hi, I'm Maya Trainer, I'm one of the guides here at EdAmerica, and we welcome our audience joining us online. We truly hope that you are doing well and staying safe amidst this outbreak. Well, anyway, for those of you who are first-timers here, hi, welcome to EdAmerica TV for the first time. EdAmerica is the U.S. Embassy's American Center. Our mission is to provide a space for young generations of Indonesia to learn more about the United States. We have temporarily moved to a solely digital platform so you can enjoy our program from the comfort of your own home and help fund the curve of COVID-19. Don't forget to leave your questions in the comment box below, and our panelists will answer them later in the seminar. And for our friends here who are joining us through Zoom, there are a couple of features that you can use to actively participate in the seminar. You can use the raise hand section to ask your questions with your video on, or you can also use the chat box section whenever you wanted to say hi to the other participant and also the panelist as well. But please keep in mind to use these features wisely. Alright? Cool. Now today we will be having a session titled What Our Successful Advisors Say About Education USA EdAmerica. A friendly reminder for all of you, as continuation of our 10th anniversary celebration and Black History Month in February, we are having a very special activities with a giveaway this month. And this month we are giving away an iPhone 12 Pro. Wow! So make sure to stay tuned till the end of this event to know how to participate. Now, I'm gonna break the ice a little bit with a social media quiz. Are you ready? Okay, here we go. Our question of the day is it true or false that Columbia University is the oldest institution of higher education in the United States? I will repeat the question one more time. Listen carefully. Is it true or false that Columbia University is the oldest institution of higher education in the United States? You can participate this quiz through our social media comment section and stay tuned till the end of this event to find out if you get the answers right. Alright, now without further ado, please welcome our moderator for today, Kak Vina Alatas, EducationUSA EdAmerica Advisor.
Thank you so much, Maya. Hello, everyone. Welcome to EdAmerica TV. My name is Vina. I'm one of the advisors for EducationUSA based in EdAmerica, and I'm very happy because I'm currently in EdAmerica. Again, I would also like to say hi if this is your first time or if you're watching this from so many different platforms, because of course we are not only in Zoom. I would like to say welcome. So let's see, we are on Facebook, we are on Twitter, we are live on Instagram, we are also live on YouTube. You can also watch us through our website in EdAmerica, atamerica.or.id. But if you want to join the crowd, we are actually here right now in Zoom. I'm looking at some of the participants. It seems like people are coming in. So before we actually start the discussion today, which is very, very exciting, we have one of our lovely advisees live from the US making the time to talk to us, hearing from him about his journey. I would like to give a short presentation just in case this is your first time. If this is not your first time, you already know what I'm gonna do. Maybe you can, like grab a cup of tea or coffee while I'm giving this presentation that you guys already know. But this is definitely for you guys who just heard about Education USA. So who we are, what is Education USA? So, all right, I think it's not showing. Let's see. Oops. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. All right, what is Education USA? We are part of the US Department of State Network, or di sini, di Indonesia, kita bilangnya Kementerian Luar Negerinya Amerika Serikat. We have over 400 international student advising centers in more than 170 countries. So as you can see here, we are basically all over the world, not only in Indonesia. What we do as advisors is that we assist everyone who wants to study higher education. So higher education such as bachelor's, master's, and PhD, atau S1, S2, dan S3. And basically the speaker that we are having tonight is using our services as well. So we're very excited about that. And the good news is that all of our services are free of charge. I know it sounds too good to be true, but I guarantee you it is so true. Basically, we are here for you guys. So in Indonesia, we have 8 centers with a total of 10 advisors. So we have 2 in Jakarta, 1 at the U.S. Embassy, and then the other one is here, of course, in America. We also have 2 in Surabaya, 1 at the U.S. Consulate General there, and then we have 1 at one of the Universitas Erlangga. And then we have 1 in Medan at the U.S. Consulate there as well, 1 in Malang at one of the universities, which is Universitas Muhammadiyah. We have 1 in Makassar at Universitas Fajar, and last but not least, we have 1 in Banda Aceh, Universitas Islam Negeri Araniri. So if there is no EducationUSA center where you live, don't worry. Basically, we are here covering the whole country. You can definitely reach out to the nearest center, or feel free to reach out to us here in America. There are 2 advisors. Again, my name is Vina, and I'm going to call up my colleague Santika in a second. So we provide you with 5 steps. Basically, if you do have the time, we want to kind of like cover the whole steps tonight. So we start with step 1, research your options. If you know you want to study in the US but you don't know where to start, let's have a chat with one of the advisors, either with me or with Santika. And then we can move on to step 2, which is financial studies, because it's equally important. We can definitely also talk about that tonight and hear from our speaker tonight how he fund the study, right? And then after that, we can move on to step 3, which is completing your application. A lot of things going on here because we're getting technical. We can take a look at your essay. We can take a look at your resume. If you have any questions about standardized tasks, something that we can definitely talk about that as well tonight. And then once you get accepted, you submit all of these documents, you get accepted, and then we can move on to step 4, which is applying for your student visa. We are going to guide you on that, the step-by-step on how to apply for the visa, right? And then last but not least, we can also give you a lot of information if you, if you want to know more about like how to find housing, how to open a bank account, what is the classroom experience looks like there, how to maintain the student visa. Again, something that we can also cover tonight. So as you can see here, basically we helped everyone every step of the way. And then don't forget that all of our services are free of charge. So please meet with us. We show you like a little of like animation, but again, my name is Fina. I have my colleague Santika. There are 2 of us here in America. We are always eager to see new advisees, which we actually do see more and more of you guys reaching out to us, wanting to, prepare your application for 2022, which is we are so very excited because we are still, very early in the year, but it's really important to actually start very early, right? So we do the advising now fully online. And the good news is we are available every day. So this is not different than when we were still in America. We open every day. We start from 1 until 9 p.m. And the advising system is first come, first serve. Also similar when we were in America. Basically, that means you don't have to make an appointment. You can just, simply come into the Zoom advising room as long as there is no one in the room there is no advising session going on. You can definitely come in. We can let you in, okay? If not, we're going to give you, like a quick chat, letting you know that, hey, we are currently in a session. Feel free to wait. All right? And then we can definitely share you the link to the Zoom advising room. But I leave you the ID here, 276-124-396, okay? Or you can email us first to our email center, jakarta.atamerica@educationusa.org. If some of you maybe, don't feel like just coming into Zoom and see one of us, because I always turn my camera on, and some people kind of like, I'm not sure if I want to do that yet. Feel free to email us first, introduce yourself, and then we can start from there, okay? Tomorrow, you definitely do not want to miss this. I am loving this week because we start the Friday with having our speaker tonight live from the US, from New York to be exact. And then tomorrow, we are having someone, an alumni to be exact. Her name is Zaskia, an alumni of University of Washington with an LLM degree. And then what is interesting about her is she's actually a lawyer for the state of Washington after she graduated from University of Washington. Probably you're kind of like wondering, wait, how can she do that? I actually also wonder. I don't want to hear about her story. So we're inviting her tomorrow to basically, hear from her journey from the beginning until he graduated, and then now she's actually a lawyer there. So tomorrow is going to be on a Saturday. It's a little bit different in terms of timing because we are doing this on a Friday evening Jakarta time. But tomorrow we're going to connect with Zaskia here in Jakarta on Saturday morning at 11. So please join the session because I'm going to learn so much from her, and I'm pretty sure you guys are going to learn a lot from her as well. And then that's going to be basically tomorrow going to be the last event for February, and then we are already basically good to go for March. So March, we're going to start the first week with part of our monthly event, which is CV, resume, letters of recommendation. This is one of the events that I always give every single month, just because this is part of step 3, completing your application, and it's very technical. You definitely want to hear this. So if you missed some of our sessions in the past, you can definitely join again, or maybe you can tell your friends about this event. It's going to be on Thursday evening at 6:30 on March 4th. Okay. And then we are going to have another session similar to what we're having tonight, but this is all the way from Texas. What we're having tonight is from the state of New York, but on March 5th, we're going to get connected with one of my advisees, Melly. What is interesting about her is that she basically failed so many scholarships provider in Indonesia, like from the US government, but then it didn't stop her to actually trying, to the point where she ends up being covered for the tuition from the university, fully covered, by applying as a graduate research assistantship. Maybe some of you have heard about it, and maybe you want to know more about it. In fact, there are actually a lot of Indonesians able to continue their studies in the US with this type of, I'm not saying like it's a scholarship, but this type of, let's call it like assistantship for now. So if you want to hear more about it, like if it's possible for you to do it, and how can you do it, you definitely do not want to miss this session. All right, so it's going to be on March 5th on a Friday evening. So we're going to get connected with Melly all the way from the state of Texas. Okay. And then my favorite, of course, on March 18 is the session on statement of purpose. If this is not your first time, you already know like how I can't stop talking about like essay. I would love to touch on this topic tonight as well. But if you want to know like, from the beginning, like from the very, very basic information about essay writing, you definitely don't want to miss this session. I'm going to have this. Basically, this is like a monthly event as well, similar to the resume event. We didn't have it this month. We don't have it this month, but we're going to, get back on track starting on March 18th. So it's going to be on Thursday, 6:30. So you're going to get familiar more on the, like the timing for our events. We like to do events on a weeknights, like Thursday or Friday, and then we usually start on in the evening, like at 6:30. Although sometimes we also have events on a Saturday morning. You can definitely register for all the events that I just mentioned you through our website at atamerica.or.id/EducationUSA, or you can go to the official EducationUSA website, educationusa.state.gov. That's it. That's my introduction. Let's dive in. Let's start with the discussion right away. I am so going to call up my colleague Santika, and then of course our guest speaker tonight, Sahril Kasim, all the way from New York. Hi Santika. Hi Sahril.
Hi, Vina. Thank you so
Hi,
much
Vina.
for introducing us, and of course, Education USA in overall. And hi, Sahril. So nice to see you.
Hai Santika, hai Vina.
Yes, I'm very excited. The fact that Sahril can make the time for us because kita sekarang 12 jam differences ya, Sahril. So it is exactly 6:45 a.m. di New York sekarang.
Yes, exactly.
Wow, that's very early.
6:45.
Yes. Okay, so basically Sahril ini dibantu sama Santika ya. Jadi actually, this is my first time seeing Sahril. I mean, I've heard about Sahril, kayak I just look at, karena Santika dan aku dan Santika kita punya database ya, San. And then kayak ketika kita mau planning bikin event ini, ayo San, siapa advise kamu gitu kan. And then kayak Sahril gitu. Kayak, so I heard about Sahril's name a lot. And then, but this is the first time actually finally seeing Sahril. But very exciting.
Yeah. So, Sahril, you have quite a unique journey. That's why, sorry. That's why Vina and I really excited to have you to share your dari awal kamu mungkin interest mau ambil master atau your failure or your struggle and then sampai sekarang kamu di NYU and in New York. Okay. So, okay, let's, I think we have a set of questions, but for all of you guys yang nonton atau di ask questions nanti, tim kita akan pass it to Vina and me, so we are the one who will ask Sahril that question. Okay? So, let's start with Vina. Should I start with kayak background Sahril dulu so that everyone can get to know him?
Aku pengen banget denger kayak Sahril tuh kayak bener-bener kayak perjalanan Sahril, kayak Sahril tuh asal dari mana, terus dulu pas kuliah tuh jurusannya apa, karena menurut aku nih programnya menarik banget. Jarang ya San kita punya advisory. Tapi banyak sih yang ngambil kayak MPA, MPP, ini kan kayak di umbrella-nya international affairs ya, if you can say it. But like specifically on public and non-profit.
So specific ini sih, I think satu.
Yeah, it's very mouthful. MPA in public and non-profit management and policy, NYU. So yeah, Sahril, please take it away. We want to hear like who are you? Like kamu asal dari mana? Terus kuliahnya dulu tuh jurusannya apa sih? Karena kita semua pasti pengen banget ngedenger basically kayak malam ini kita pengen denger kayak perjalanan Sahril sampai bisa sekarang tuh ada di NYU gitu.
Exactly. Take it away, Sahril. Boleh pakai bahasa Indonesia?
Boleh banget, ya.
Boleh banget.
Yeah. So, I originally from Ambon. I studied in Ambon since elementary up to high school. Sorry, am I audible? Seems like it's echoing here.
Kedengeran kok.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, perfect.
So I studied up to high school in Ambon. And then I went to University of Indonesia for my undergrad, bachelor, majoring in economics, after graduations, and then I worked in multinational company for several times. I mean, for some times, and then after that I have to resign because I have joined an exchange student, youth exchange programs for several months. After that, I continue working again as an internship at one of the management consulting company. So right after that, I applied for my scholarships, LPDP. So here I am now in NYU.
Right. LPDP-nya LPDP apa? Can you elaborate on that?
LPDP BIT.
Boleh jelasin sedikit nggak sih, Sahril, kayak mungkin ada yang kita sering udah denger lah ya LPDP, tapi boleh dijelasin nggak sih kayak ada LPDP BIT which is itu apa sih?
Oh ya, jadi LPDP itu ada beberapa jenisnya, ada yang afirmasi, ada yang CPNS, terus ada juga TNI Polri, targeted group, reguler sama yang BIT. So, BIT basically untuk anak-anak yang dari Indonesia Timur, ada dari Papua, kemudian Papua Barat, and then Maluku Utara, and NTT. So basically BIT khusus untuk provinsi tersebut, dan negara tujuan juga hanya 3, yaitu Jepang, Korea, atau USA. Kita hanya punya pilihan 3 pilihan negara.
So that was your choice ya?
Yes. That's the only choices I have.
Itu 3 negara masing-masing 1 universitas atau gimana?
We can choose. Bisa pilih itu atau 1 negara aja untuk 3 pilihan universitas.
Oh,
so
interesting.
As in that 3.
I just know that I thought yang kayak mungkin reguler ya itu ya, yang pilihannya cuma 3, regardless of which country, the total of university is 3. Kenapa, Vina?
Oh, same.
Kayaknya iya deh. I mean, I think with LPDP they kind of like suka kayak diubah-ubah gitu tiap tahun, I think peraturannya. So
yeah, we gotta, if you are interested to apply for LPDP, we always, or even right, or any other scholarship, and even the program of the university, selalu cek ke official website-nya langsung.
Ya.
Jadi kalau university langsung to the US University website. Biasa websitenya ends with .edu generally, tapi nggak selalu gitu. Terus kalau LPDP itu lpdp.kemenku.go.id. Fulbright is aminef.or.id. So always
udah sering
refer
share
there.
soalnya ya.
Iya, sampai hafal.
Sampai hafal link.
Sampai hafal itu. So yeah, thank you Sahril for sharing that. It's very interesting that kamu emang aslinya dari Indonesia bagian timur, which is Ambon. But, so that makes you eligible buat LPDP BIT. Tapi kamu kuliah sempat di Jakarta ya, di UI kan. Terus kerja juga di Jakarta.
Yes.
I see. Oke, tapi pas advising waktu itu kamu nggak di Jakarta. So I thought you were never worked in Jakarta before atau kuliah di Jakarta before. So yeah, very interesting. Okay, Vina, do you have other question? Atau
I have
we should
a lot of questions.
Yes, please. Shoot away.
Sebenarnya kayak basic banget sih kayak, tapi aku pengen banget sih denger kayak why the US? You know, where there are other countries outside the US yang kita basically we can fairly say that it's the whole application process is easier compared to the US. We all know, kita semua tahu di sini kalau mau apply ke US tuh kayak aduh ribet banget, banyak orang yang kayak aduh nggak mau deh apply ke US karena ribet minta GRE apa segala macam. Kenapa Sahril milih US? Apalagi kan untuk anak LPDP BIT, maksudnya bukan anak LPDP BIT aja sih, semua yang apply LPDP gitu misalnya ya, dikasih kesempatan buat kayak pilih negara lain juga, nggak cuma US gitu kan. Walaupun I'm actually very excited about apa tuh San LPDP PTUD. I'm very biased because I'm with EducationUSA. LPDP PTUD itu LPDP perguruan tinggi utama dunia, di mana ada 15 list sekolah dan 12-nya itu US semua. And I love it. Dan kebetulan memang advice kita di sini ngejar rute itu ya San. Tapi ya aku pengen denger dari Sahril sih, kenapa US?
Well, aside from my scholarship, which is limited only to the 3 countries, it's also because of the courses that I would like to take. I mean, US really prominent with its social studies. So that's why I want to pursue my master degree at the US. So I mean, it's as simple as that. And also, I mean, higher education in US is really, I mean, kualitasnya sangat-sangat bagus. I mean, ya. Kemudian juga peluang untuk magang, internship juga sangat besar, yang relevant to my courses. I mean, relevant to my programs. Jadi, that's some sort of reasons why I want to choose study in the US instead of 2 other countries in the list, in the LPDP list.
Kita udah ngomongin timeline belum ya? Kayak Sahril tuh apply LPDP-nya kapan, dapetnya kapan? Terus karena ini juga pertanyaan yang kita sering banget dapat ya San. Kayak banyak yang kayak oke, mau
mana dulu nih gitu.
Iya, kayak pengen nih studi ke US tapi mulai dari mana ya? Terus apa ya yang harus disiapin ya dan berapa lama ya gitu. So let's hear it from you Sahril.
So I got scholarship around December 2019. So it's the end of 2019. And then after that, I started my applications right away in 2020. In January, like I applied early decision for NYU and other universities. But yes, you know the story. Unfortunately, I got rejected some, and then I have to, fight again, and then reapplied in exactly in the same year, and finally I could make it to NYU right now. So I spent like 1 year to prepare for all the admission process, and everything I need to start my study as soon as possible.
Jadi kalau kita tarik mundur, 2018 kamu start preparing, 2019 kamu apply, am I right?
Yes, it's 20.
Yeah, 2019 apply LPDP, right? So when you got LPDP, you apply for NYU right away for the first time, and unfortunately you didn't get in. Yes. But you didn't give up, and you apply again for what? Spring 2021. Berarti kamu baru mulai banget ini ya sekarang ya di situ ya. Cool. Nanti kita get to that point.
Ya. So, dan ini nih maksud aku nih menarik banget sih kayak kamu ketolak tapi tuh kamu tetap nyoba lagi. Kamu like what did you think like what was you thinking back then?
Well, basically because I already choose this list. I mean, this university as my uh, intended campus that I would like to attend. Then I have no other choices. I have to get in unless my scholarship, unless I will lose my
Angus ya.
scholarship. Yes, so that's why I have to fight until the end. So that's why I have I mean, and then I have to like retake my IELTS for GRE and other stuff necessary to I mean to strengthen my applications at the time.
So
Wow.
you took your IELTS twice, ya?
Yes, last year twice.
Improve nggak?
Yes, it's improved.
Cool.
It's already meet the target, but it's just like the minimum target that the campus requires. But
Okay.
I don't really confident with that. Then I have to take again. So it's quite improved. So and also I add my GRE scores, even though it's not really high, but I think it's really boosts my application.
Yeah, we actually want to kind of like stay around that, you know, topic like
Boleh.
the TOEFL, the GRE. Kamu masih ingat nggak Sahril, si NYU tuh minta skor TOEFL-nya berapa?
I don't know for the total because I only focus for the IELTS.
Oh
but
no, sorry, IELTS.
The IELTS is minimum 7.
7 tuh berapa ya equivalent? Coba, let me just like. So, karena menurut aku yang menarik ya, guys yang lagi nonton juga gitu kan, something that you definitely want to pay attention more when you want to study in the US adalah, and this is actually something that I actually just realized not too long ago, that is other countries outside the US, walaupun negaranya itu negara English speaking countries, actually just realized that their English proficiency test requirement was quite basic. Dimana aku kayak I'm already get used to telling people that, oh, you want to study in the US for master, great, love it. This is the score for TOEFL and IELTS that you need to prepare. And I always mention different programs in the US, different TOEFL or IELTS score, but I always tell them try to reach a minimum of 90. Although there are some programs that will ask higher, but I always tell them 90. And then you want to get familiar with like the score system, karena yang basicnya itu adalah 79. So can you see like the difference from 79 to 90 is actually quite high. But then that's all I know. I thought for master's degree level all over the world they are asking the same score.
No.
Pretty much. But then ternyata even kayak di UK they are asking very low score. And maybe, I don't know, some people kind of like, maybe that's one of the reasons why a lot of people kind of like, ya nggak mau ke US karena skornya tinggi banget.
Yeah.
But the way I look at it, if you actually can reach 90, it makes sense because you're going to use English all the time. 79 is very basic for English. Like seriously, especially for if you want to study. I'm concerned that you're going to struggle with 79 or berapa itu equivalent di IELTS, kind of like 6, I think 6.5 for IELTS. Itu kayak I think you're going to struggle because you know like the reading, the speaking, listening and writing. Yeah, tadi berapa Saril bilang? 7.
Yeah.
Exactly, 7 is like 94 equivalent to TOEFL. Above 90, exactly what I always tell people. So yeah, something to think about for you guys who are watching this, want to study in the US, try to reach the minimum of 90. And then tadi Saril sempat mention GRE is a different story, right? Because if you try to find the minimum score of GRE, it's almost non-existent, right? Saril kind of like, yeah. Can you find it on the website?
No.
Yeah.
There's no minimum target.
Minimum target, no, exactly. I really want to bring in like one of the advisees of mine yang udah keterima di salah satu sekolah di US juga, di mana dia bilang kayak, yeah, I did my GRE, but I don't think that's like what they're really looking for. I don't think I get accepted because of my GRE because it's actually kind of like not like, you know, good. Bahkan programnya Sahril ini GRE-nya tadi sempat ngobrol sebentar, optional ya?
Yeah, it's
Sebenarnya.
optional.
Yeah. Let me, before we actually start with the GRE, kita stay di IELTS dulu deh, karena ini lumayan tinggi loh menurut aku. Kamu dapat 7 TOEFL equivalent to 94. Kamu persiapannya gimana?
So for the first time, for my first attempt, I only study online. Like there's a website where we can do the test. It's really like it's an actual test questions and stuff. So I just use that website and I can measure my ability. But then for my second attempt, I already have like some sort of training from the PDP, and also I got so many resources from Santika at the time. She sent me like a lot of videos, IELTS preparations videos at the time, and I only watched that before my second attempt. So basically, I did self study before I took my second IELTS test.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Santika, do you want to talk a little bit about the resources that we have?
Yeah, so I'm really glad that those resources that Vina and I worked on, karena itu resourcesnya sebenarnya pas eventnya kita di Education USA at Amerika. So we invited British Council Indonesia, which is the official official host of the IELTS test. Mereka yang ngasih IELTS test secara official.
Yeah.
So we invited them to give us a short session. I think we have done that for a few times by now. Tapi kita ada yang waktu itu kayaknya all of them are recorded. Cuman aku selalu share yang terakhir kita adakan. Jadi info-infonya yang at least the most updated one at that point gitu. So what I share is just introduction to IELTS. Jadi biasanya kayak cuma dikasih structure IELTS tuh kayak gini loh, nilainya begini. It's just the latest update. It's basic things. And if you go to IELTS punya official website yang britishcouncil.id itu yang untuk IELTS, they actually write something that's menurut aku ya pribadi, it's not encouraging for people to retake IELTS in general. Karena tulisannya more or less tulisannya kayak gini kayak if you have taken IELTS test and you are planning to retake, nilai kamu kurang lebih akan sama aja unless you make a really good preparation. Jadi kayak secara statistiknya mereka kayak orang yang retake itu nggak akan improve that much, tapi mungkin ada orang yang bisa benar-benar make improvement banget itu kalau mereka put so much effort in that gitu. So Sahril, I don't know your before score, but the fact that you nailed 7 or berapa tadi 7.5 atau 7 ya is kalau improve kayak 1 poin itu aja menurut mereka udah it's a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
Karena bisa orang kritik kayak misalnya pertama kali 6, terus kedua kali paling kita 6,5 itu juga kalau misalnya mungkin mereka do better gitu. Kalau enggak ya probably the same 6 doang. Karena kan IELTS ini bedanya sama TOEFL IBT adalah the speaking is with the native speaker. So especially if you're like tipe-tipe nervous ngomong sama native speaker, I wouldn't recommend you to take IELTS. Jadi makanya kenapa kalau orang datang ke aku terus kayak Santika, which one should I take, TOEFL IBT atau IELTS? Aku bilang kalau kamu belum pernah cobain salah satu sama sekali, go explore both of them and see which one you are good at gitu kayak or better at least kayak yang kamu lebih cocok lah gitu. Karena kan some people cannot talk with native speaker langsung gitu without maybe kalau dia belum pernah ke expose in the workplace kayak gitu atau in daily life dia nggak biasa kayak gitu, itu bisa nerve-wracking banget and it will affect the score gitu. And the fact that you take it the second time, kamu ingat gak kamu improve-nya di mana? Speaking kah, di writing kah, di mana? Or generally?
I improve in listening and writing.
Okay, cool.
Yes. So for my speaking and reading, it's constant.
Okay. Tapi mungkin mungkin resource yang aku share juga membantu kamu untuk understand the structure. So that's probably what some students like you need. So I encourage all of you, kalau kalian mau belajar TOEFL IBT atau IELTS, you can email us. Actually email me specifically to ask for the link karena aku udah bikin table-nya. Jadi tinggal aku copy paste and share to you all. But I will need initially I will need to get to know you, like where you want to study in the States and what kind of program that you're interested. Karena of course, we want to guide you more, not only kayak nih resources dah kayak lepas kamu gitu. And then for TOEFL IBT actually we have more kayak lebih komprehensif lagi prep course-nya 12 sesi. IELTS kan tadi cuma introduction kan jadi cuma 3. sesi. Kalau TOEFL IBT itu 12 sesi. Satu sesinya kurang lebih 1 jam. So you will need dedication to go through that. Gitu. Dan Sahril juga kayaknya nontonnya ulang-ulang sih. Walaupun juga cuma 3 video, kayaknya kamu ulang-ulang banget supaya kamu belajarnya banget-banget gitu kan. And of course there are practice tests ya, Sahril. Do you use those practice tests online?
Yeah.
I can't remember if I give it to you, tapi kayak itu dari website official semua sih. So if you guys have difficulties finding that, that's why you come to Education USA. One of the reasons, right?
Yeah, and Santika, I actually just shared something in the chat because I just realized that during my introduction, I missed telling everyone about our upcoming event in March. Everything about the TOEFL, GRE, and GMAT. So I just shared with everyone in the chat if you want to look that up. The event information, we're going to have it on March the 19th, I believe. Basically, Santika and we are going to cover basically these topics about the standardized test. We don't put the IELTS in that title, but if there are some questions coming from you guys wanting to know more about IELTS, we can cover that. But we are basically going to talk a lot about like TOEFL, GRE, and GMAT. And to be completely honest with you guys, like Santika said earlier, if you want to get the resource, you go to Santika. Santika, I think, like really know even like the very technical things about like the TOEFL, the IELTS, the GRE, and GMAT. You're really good at that, Santika, more than I do.
I try.
Yeah.
Because especially during the pandemic, a lot of the system and a lot of the new, what do I call that? A lot of new protocols are being introduced to suit the students' need. Jadi kayak kemarin kan sempat pandemic and lockdown, jadi kayak TOEFL itu sebenarnya ada home edition jadinya. Nah kalau IELTS ini terakhir kita update sih emang they're trying to make it online, but I don't know if it's running already or not. And I think I can try to get in touch with the person who we worked with last time and see if we can get an update, and we will definitely update you all in this next upcoming event that Vina just shared in the Zoom chat box. If you are not in Zoom, don't worry, you can go to our website atamerica.org.id/educationusa. Scroll down paling bawah, terus kamu bisa lihat nanti eventnya itu ada di situ. So you just need to choose that event and then register as usual. Itu aja sih, simple.
Yes.
So, Sahril, it's very interesting that you retake the IELTS. Did I actually recommend you to retake the IELTS atau kamu kayak inisiatif? Kayaknya aku nggak pede nih, aku mau bagusin lagi gitu. Minimumnya berapa? Si NYU minta berapa?
Di NYU itu 7, overall 7 with minimum score no less than 6. Okay. So sebelum kamu retake itu udah memenuhi atau kayak ada part yang masih kurang kayak di bawah? Yeah, but it's really like
pas-pasan banget gitu ya.
Pas-pasan sekali. Okay, so that's why I don't really confident with that. I have to take. I think I need to retake.
Yeah, and that's why Vina and I like orang-orang yang punya mentality kayak going the extra mile. Yeah. And one of the reason our advice choose US itu biasanya orang-orang yang tipe-tipe it doesn't matter if it's more challenging gitu loh. They're willing to put in extra work and try to be better gitu. Kayak kamu walaupun udah ketolak sekali, kamu daftar lagi untuk IELTS, kamu sebenarnya udah pass, tapi kayak pas-pasan banget gitu, kayak aduh bener-bener ini limit minta segini, kamu bener-bener cuma di garis itu, so you want to like exceed the line a bit. So yeah, that's really a good trait and personality, I think, which is very interesting. Kayak mungkin even if it's reflect, aku juga penasaran sih apakah itu ke-reflect di essay kamu. Nanti kita ngomongin essay ya. So anything else, Tina, about standardized tests that you want to ask Sahril?
I think we're good to go ya. Apalagi tadi yang maksudnya yang si GRE sih menurut aku is quite interesting because
it's optional.
I mean, yeah, and I mentioned to Sahril earlier that you don't have to mention the score, but basically, we can fairly say that, the GR itu exactly benar-benar kayak nggak jadi patokan buat universitas sih. So that's that. And I mean, I have a lot of questions of mine. I take notes, but maybe we can kind of like look at the chat is kind of like busy with people asking questions specifically to Sahril. So maybe we can kind of like take some of them. No, we're going to take all of them. So
Boleh.
Mirza yang sering
All
banget
of them.
nonton acara kita, thank you banget. We're very excited to always have you
Udah
in
hafal.
the session. Mau nanya, Hai Kak Saril, why NYU? Did you apply to another school beside NYU? Maybe like NYU's neighbor, Columbia?
No, or have you considered Columbia? Kayak
Yeah.
karena kan program kamu ini spesifik ini kan langka banget ya. I mean MPA like Tina said tadi earlier, ini under umbrella MPA dan ini emang banyak yang ngambil MPA. Tapi sespesifik kamu ini kayaknya jarang banget langka. And is this why you choose NYU instead of like Columbia or other schools in US? Coba elaborate.
So, well, that could be one of the reasons. But basically, back in the day when I considered in which university I want to attend, first I searched in Google, like top 10 universities. Top 10, like I searched based on courses, like which courses I want to attend, and I see the rank. And of course, Columbia is one of the, on top of the list also, with Harvard and others. But one of my considerations that time was optional GRE, GRE, and also whether or not I can ask for fee waiver at the time. Yeah. So after some considerations, when I see, and then I come up with 3 options, which is Chicago, Harris School of Public Policy, and then Washington University, and then NYU. I chose these 3 because 3 of them have an optional GRE requirement, and then I can also have an options for fee waiver. And I got fee waiver from Harris School of Public Policy and also NYU at the time.
Interesting.
Yes,
So itu mereka nulis, did they write like there is a fee waiver available if you request, or you have to like go the extra mile again to email the admission office and ask if they have a waiver?
For some, I looking at their websites, and then I see in the FAQ section and sections, and I see they can offer like fee waiver for students, but there are some requirements that I have to fulfill. At the time, I write a letter as well, and then I write a letter to the admissions officer, and I send them, and fortunately they prove it, so I apply without any fee at the time.
Totally. That was awesome. Kayak I always juga kalau misalnya murid-murid yang kayak ngerasa kalau apply ke kebanyakan university, I think it will be more expensive because of the application fee, right? Eventually you will only need 1 letter of acceptance ultimately. Cuman kayak to increase your chance, Vina sama aku selalu bilang apply as much as you can, even if kalau kamu kayak LPDP kan ada restrictions ya, kayak harus uni yang ini kalau programnya A, B, C gitu. But yeah, just do your best atau kayak select the best that you can based on your constraint. In your case, kamu nyari yang ada fee waiver, optional GRE, and apalagi, did I miss anything? 2 ya?
Tadi fee waiver maksudnya the application fee, right?
The application fee waiver, yes.
Boleh share nggak sih berapa sih sebenarnya ke application fee?
Mahal nggak sih?
Kalau US
Seratusan
ya?
It's 7.
Beda-beda.
Some, it's like 85 or 70.
Sometimes depending on the program, kayak MBA itu terkenal banget mahal, bisa sampai over 100. Terus akhirnya Saril dapat si application fee ini?
Yeah, I got from
semuanya.
From the school.
Semua sekolah? Wow, what did you do? What did you do? You email them?
I do email the admission officer and ask them how can I get the fee waiver, and then they send me the process, and I write a letter. I wrote a letter and I sent it to them, and then I got
Guys, take notes.
Yes, take note people.
Tapi memang iya sih, aku banyak banget sih advice-advice-ku yang kayak, tinggal email. Karena, again, this is something yang mereka nggak naruh di website-nya mereka gitu kan. Tapi yang aku lihat memang kalau di US itu, first of all, by the way, something to share with you guys, sistem edukasi di US tuh, especially untuk kayak master's degree sama PhD, graduate degree level di US itu, mereka tuh sangat decentralized. Right, jadi tuh kayak misalnya kayak NYU ada School of Public Policy atau School of Business atau School of apa gitu kan. Itu tuh mereka benar-benar sendiri-sendiri banget. Ya
Yes.
kan, jadi kayak misalnya mereka tuh bener kayak case by case. So exactly like what Sahril did, ya mungkin karena mereka nerima email personal dari Sahril asking specifically about, hey, is there a possibility that you can waive the application fee from me? They will say kind of like, sure, why not, right? And then so yeah, do that.
Ya, dan of course, maksudnya we encourage you, Sahril, Vina, and I encourage you all kayak to try to go the extra mile to get what you need, karena lumayan ya, kayak 70, 80 or 100 something waiver fee is going to help you gitu. You can use that to, kayak misalnya kamu dapat waiver si Uni A, kamu bisa pakai fund itu untuk apply ke Uni B, which going to kayak apa, open up your opportunity lagi gitu. But there are always cases di mana there are some of my advisee yang email tapi emang the university or the program don't have that waiver program at that moment, atau mungkin kayak they already reach the limit, kayak mungkin mereka buat fall 2021 ada berapa waiver terus kayak udah taken semua atau udah kepake semua, so kayaknya lebih benar-benar ada consideration juga dari mereka. So if they say no to you, don't feel defeated. Cari mungkin uni lain yang as good, as good, yang artinya kamu juga mau banget, dan tanya lagi if they have the waiver. If they have it, then you can go ahead and apply to that university instead. Gitu maksudnya.
Yeah. I was just also sharing in the chat that I have one advisee yang bahkan dia dapat fee waiver di GMAT. So and she's really kind. She shared the information to me, and then she said, "Hey Fina, I think this information will be very valuable to your advisees." So basically, you go to mba.com, which is itu website untuk kamu untuk register GMAT, right? And then, well, she said it's kind of like hidden in the website. It's not like on the front page, but you really need to like really read. I forgot if she actually shared me the link. I believe she did. But then ada satu halaman di website mba.com di mana kayak they list some of the schools yang mereka basically bilang kalau if you want to apply to one of these schools, kayak click something and then kayak nanti diarahin ke kampusnya langsung, and then you basically just tell to the department like, hey, yeah, I'm interested in applying to your business program and I'm asking for the MBA fee waiver, and then she got it. So she did the MBA for free.
Okay, cool.
So, yeah,
it's really, I will just dig that when I have time. Yeah, because I love that kind of stuff. Kayak it's so hidden
gem gitu kan?
Iya, kalau kita ke university website, di US university website, sometimes they will openly say kayak ada fee waiver gini. Tapi most of the time you need to go to kayak admission, kayak ada tab admission, kamu harus masuk ke tab admission, terus harus pencet apply now, terus nanti baru ada mungkin kayak tulisan kecil yang kayak bisa ada fee waiver. So you don't see those langsung, but if you kayak benar-benar try do your best to research, kamu bakal stumble on that. Tapi kalau kamu nggak stumble on that, email the admission office yang biasanya @admission.edu gitu deh. Pokoknya the official one, okay? So,
kita udah bahas belum sih? Ini ada Astrid Puspitasari di Zoom. Hai Kak Sahril, why do you choose that major? Tadi basically earlier juga ada yang nanya kan, mungkin kemis a little bit kayak nanya Sahril jurusannya apa? It's kind of like mouthful. But Sahril ini ada di MPA in Public and Non-Profit Management and Policy. Ini School of Wagner ya?
Yes, it's Wagner School.
Okay. Itu berarti School of apa? Public Policy?
Public Services.
Public Services, okay.
Yes.
Do they have like public policy or they just call it public services?
They call it public service, but my specialization will be public policy.
Okay. So aku tadi mention di awal banget, basically kenapa US jadi kayak destinasi yang very sexy banget untuk kayak yang jurusan yang very social science, karena programnya tuh bener-bener kayak luas banget, ya nggak sih? I usually tell, karena aku dulu I have a hard time to like really understand apa sih bedanya MPP, MPA, MPAID, MIDP, those kind of like programs yang ada kayak all over the US. What I found out adalah basically the umbrella is called International Affairs. Aku tadi sempat share di chat, by the way. You definitely want to check out apsia.org. Itu kayak Association of Public, something. This is like they have like all the information about like if you want to like study this kind of like field. But yeah, I mean like the US tuh kayak banyak banget, ada yang namanya School of Public Policy, ada yang masuk ke ranah SPS, School of I forgot. I think it's in Colombia, but
Public service? Was it SPS?
School of Professional Studies, I think.
Oh yeah,
Tapi
professional
sometimes ada
studies.
yang kayak agak mirip-mirip sama public policy walaupun nggak exactly that. But yeah, so to answer the question kayak why do you choose that specific major?
So basically, it's kind of relevant with my educational background in my undergrad, which is economics.
Okay.
Even the courses that I'm taking now mostly cover that one that I've already learned in bachelor degree. It's kind of in line, and also relating. I believe like one of my lifelong ambitions is to help fostering the development in my regions in Maluku. I mean by that I mean in more macro setting. So I believe that in order to take a lead in this direction, I need to improve myself. I need to have, to have a strong foundations in public policy. Because why public policy is because of it can combine the strong foundations, practical skill that is relevant to pertinent issues to solve the pertinent issues in almost every social domain. So this is kind of broad, but it can covers almost every sectors in our social life. So that's why I really want to learn about this particular major. And why MPAPNP? Because I believe it's kind of unique because it's like combine the non-profit things. Like most of my colleagues also work in non-profit and some also work in government sectors, which is it's kind of unique because we can get a lot of broad perspective all of my aspects. So that's why I really want to take this major.
Yeah. And it's very interesting that you have a goal in mind, dan itu sebenarnya one of the common thing ya Vina, kalau orang-orang yang mau daftar ke US, especially for master atau PhD, that they need to have this kind of goal atau vision, karena emang si essay yang diminta, statement of purpose atau personal essay ini biasanya ada promptnya, di mana mereka nanya what's your goal gitu, gimana program ini bisa help you achieve those goals gitu, whether it's personal or professional or both. And I remember you came to me with your essay, which is kayak beberapa kali, dan you actually kayak nggak ngomongin economic in sense of economic, but you mentioned economic. Makanya aku tadi kayak mikir-mikir, kayaknya dulu kamu bukan nulis economic, so that's very interesting. Nanti kalau kamu mau share, I'm not gonna share your essay content because every essay and CV and resume that is sent to Sina and me are confidential. Even in shared session kayak gini, it's just up to you which part you want to share to the audience if any questions pop up regarding that as well. Karena di sini ada yang nanya juga, masih di Listia, dia nanya, tadi Listia udah belum ya, Vin?
Belum, which is
belum,
kayak related sama what you just said, Santika, about like the prompt question.
Yes.
Basically, Listia Khairunisa from Zoom, thank you for the question. Basically nanya, basically bilang, hi Kak Saril, so inspiring. Did you submit a video essay and GRE task score? Because it's optional for NYU Wagner, so Listia definitely like udah do her research. Basically walaupun the GRE-nya optional, Sahril disaranin sama Santika untuk ngambil, right? So you actually did take the GRE, and we talked a little bit about that earlier. Did you submit a video essay? I believe that's option. It's not optional, or is it?
It's optional.
Oh, it's optional.
Wow.
So you submit it?
Okay.
Yes, I was kind of stick to Santika's sentences. Santika's statement advising, which is what's optional is not really optional. So that's why, yes, it's really stick to me. And then even though it's optional, and then I keep submitting it. I send everything that we are required. Even if it's optional. So I did submit you as well.
Video essay. What did they ask in the video essay?
It's mostly like about what's the unique perspective that we'd like to contribute there. What will we contribute there?
Is it something that the karena ada two two kind of video essay. Is it something yang kamu bisa boleh nge-pre-record dulu? Jadi questionnya udah dikasih in advance. Itu kamu dapetnya kayak gitu?
Yeah, they have the prompt and then you just have to record. But unique perspective that we would like to bring.
Got it. Okay. Yeah, I'm currently ada sesi advising sama one of my advisees yang dia mau apply ke NYU juga in mathematics, I think, or finance, I forgot, in that kind of like field. Dia juga diminta video essay dan udah dikasih promptnya. Tapi ada juga beberapa program yang agak deg-degan karena mereka nggak ngasih prompt, jadi kayak you have to click on the spot, exactly, on the spot question. So you need to click and then you get the question and then you need to record right away. And then nanti kayak cuma dikasih berapa menit untuk kayak berapa detik untuk kayak prepare. Itu agak lumayan menyeramkan, but it's actually nice kalau dapet yang kayak model Sahril yang kayak emang dapat prompt in advance. Kemudian Listia nanya, just out of curiosity, what was your answer for their essay question? What fuels your interest in a public service career?
Is that the same prompt atau udah beda? Same.
That's the other essay. That's the other essay for the admission.
Oh, they do have more than one essay.
Yes, it's so many essays.
Okay.
Like even for the applicants, they also have the essay. Like what makes me. What do I have? What particular thing that I have been improved since my previous applications?
Yeah, and it's very interesting. Sorry, Sahril, go on.
Yes.
Gimana?
I mean, they have so many questions. Even about what professors that or faculties that
contacted.
That's
nice. Okay. So did you get this question? Did you get this question that Listia asked? What fuels your interest in a public service career?
That's the first essay question.
So the interesting part, I think, karena Sahril come to me with just one essay dan sebenarnya dia buat review itu untuk daftar ke George Washington University, not NYU. Makanya pas he email me, I got accepted. Terus aku kayak NYU, I think you did apply to NYU. So I'm like, wow, okay. And then kayak tadi kita kan nggak bahas secara detail ya essay kamu di NYU kayak gimana, but I did ask you if you can use the essay that you bring to me for GWU ke si NYU, and it turns out kayaknya jadinya ke breakdown ya kalau di NYU ya, kayak very specific, dia nanyanya kayak what fuels your interest, which faculty, and kayak mungkin professor atau apalah yang bener-bener detail banget, because our essay that we suggest to write, ya Vina, even without prompt ya, kalau misalnya dia cuma bilang statement of purpose atau personal essay, Vina and I always have this kind of standard ya Vin ya, kayak just tell them why you want this program and this university, kayak in specific, kayak mungkin this course is very important for me, this professor atau apapun itu gitu. And somehow it works out, you can use that essay to other university ya.
And in fact, aku misalnya aku ada advisee gitu ya. We're working on like one essay, and this one essay is particularly for one or two universities that this person wants to apply. Dan aku kayak kita udah sesi ke I don't know 10, 15 sesi yang ke 10 atau sesi ke 15 gitu kan, sampai udah yang kayak wah ini keren banget nih esainya gitu kan, karena udah bolak-balik coret sana sini gitu kan. To the point aku sampai kayak karena kan aku basically Santika and I, we meet a lot of advisees, so I don't always like remember the particular advisee that I'm currently talking to. Terus aku kayak kadang suka nggak inget kan kayak dia apply kemana aja, dan aku suka kayak okay, so where are you going to apply again gitu kan. Terus kayak mereka bilang oh cuman kedua ini kok. Aku biasa tuh kayak you know what, like why don't you just like try to find other programs, karena ini essay ini tuh udah super keren banget to the point that you can actually use it as a foundation for other campuses. Probably we just need to change, not probably, we have to change the one paragraph yang biasanya itu selalu ada di essay ya kan, which is kayak when you talk specifically about the program on that university. That's it, but then the rest, like probably like 90% of the essay you can actually use it for other campuses. So this is like exactly what happened to Sahril.
Yes. Tapi jangan plek-plekan di copy paste ya. Cuma ganti program sama uni, terus kamu plek-plekan copy paste, nggak perhatiin prompt yang uni yang lain ini apa. Because in this case, di NYU di breakdown ternyata ya kan, jadi short essays tapi beberapa. So you need to be creative. Oh, yang ini fit in here, ini fit in there.
Yep.
So you don't want to like, just copy paste the whole thing, and that's going to be a mess gitu. Intinya harus attention detail.
Yeah. But yeah, I also want to share something.
I hope that, and we are going.
Yeah. Another thing that I want to kind of like touch upon a little bit is karena recently, and I think specifically San, semenjak kita going virtual, there are a lot of other new people coming to us. And then I'm really glad, by the way. But then there are a small number of people. Kita ada terima email ya San, kayak, hey, I heard about your service of essay review. Would you please like review my essay to the UK? and then I mean, not that
that's EducationUSA email.
EducationUSA. Yeah, but the thing is, you guys definitely want to be very careful because yes, the number one service that is very popular here in EducationUSA at America is essay review because we do it for free. I happen to love reading essays. I want to make Santika to also love essays as well.
I do, but not every day.
Yeah. But I always tell people, karena aku sekarang ada satu advisor juga yang kita udah bolak-balik, dia mau apply ke US, tapi dia dari awal juga jujur, dia bilang kayak, I'm actually also want to apply to the UK, and of course aku bilang kayak, sure, right? But then aku bilang ke dia kayak, but you have to be very careful, you do not want to use this essay to other countries outside the US, because US essay is just exclusively for the US. If you use this US essay to like other countries, that's not what they're looking for, trust me. And vice versa. Essays outside the US, name it. Europe, every country in Europe, Australia, Asia, they're kind of essays all the same, but then you don't want to use that essays to the US, right? So maybe some of you guys, ada beberapa orang mungkin yang mikir kayak, yeah, you know what, I'm just gonna like say to these advisors, like I'm gonna apply to the US, but I'm actually gonna use this essay to apply to the UK. You don't want to do that. Seriously, I'm just giving you a heads up. They will be like, what is this? Because other countries' essay, I can fairly say very bluntly that it's really easy. Basically, it's just like your apa ya San? Biography.
Reciting your CV
reciting
kamu.
Your CV.
Kamu ceritain, jadi kayak tahun segini aku lulus, tahun segini aku kerja ini. That's it.
And you do not want to do that to US essay because US essay is all about why are you applying this essay? Just think about US University tuh kepo banget sama kalian ngapain sih mau apply ke sekolah kita? Kayak, what are you gonna do after this? So they want to know all this. They don't want to know like that you graduated with like cum laude, that you work at this company, because they can see that from your CV. That's something that I basically going to cover like in the essay session. But it's really nice to have like a someone like Sahril to basically. You agree, right, Sahril?
Yeah, his essay is nothing about kayak, oh, I worked in here. Blah blah blah. He actually tell a very interesting story. If you want to share a bit about it, boleh Sahril. But another thing that I want to tell you guys, nambahin dikit dari Vina tadi adalah not only the essay is different, the CV is also different. Kalau ke Euro itu ada namanya Europass, dan kita juga beberapa kali nerima. Oh, since you can review CV or resume, can you review my CV and resume?
Oh yeah, we got that recently.
And then dia ngirimnya yang Europass, padahal kayak that's like after the CV and resume event yang Vina adakan tiap bulan, kayak Vina give the sample kayak template yang kayak gimana kalau di US nggak perlu gini gitu, bla bla bla. Euro punya most likely mirip sama Indonesia, kayaknya pakai foto dan segala macam, but US nggak perlu sama sekali. So want to be very specific. If you come with dokumen yang appropriate buat ke US, yang buat ke negara lain, yang ke negara lain. And then come to us with those that for US, karena that's how we are. That's what we are used to, and that's what we can handle. Karena kalau negara lain kita nggak boleh so tahu sih istilahnya gitu. So that's that. And yeah, Sahril, do you want to talk about your essay? Karena kayaknya lumayan menarik ya untuk di-share.
Ada sisi personalnya nggak sih Sahril? Karena kita mulai ada banyak dapat advice dari anak-anak LPDP BIT ya San, which I always love to have you guys on board, just because it's kind of like really refreshing in a way, because you guys just amazing, all the way from the eastern part of Indonesia, thinking about like studying in the US, wanting to do something back to your like community, to your hometown. Biasanya aku selalu bilang kalau untuk teman-teman advice yang misalnya kayak di Jakarta gitu kan, aku biasanya jarang sih kayak nyaranin, yeah, maybe you can talk a little bit about your personal story, because well just like beda ya dengar cerita personal yang kita tinggal di kota besar sama denger cerita personal someone from like yang kita jarang denger, yang kayak it's not always about like Jakarta, not always about Java, not always about Sumatra, but it's like from the eastern part of Indonesia, exotic, like has its own story. So Sahril boleh banget dong kalau boleh share.
And the trouble is different, right?
Yeah.
Gimana Sahril?
So for this particular essay for NYU, I did write about. I wrote about my personal stories. Most about my personal story. For this essay, I said like something like growing up in harsh conditions. I have received countless support from everyone, for many people, from governments. I studied for free educations up to my bachelor degrees, and even up to now. And then I say that's kind of kindness instill in me, like the altruistic desire to contribute back to my society, and that's what fueled me that I want to pursue public services field, because I want to contribute back to the society. Because even up to this day, I've received a lot of support from everyone, even from government. So that's why that's the one that I say that that's the one that motivate me to take this public service.
Ya, ini aku sambil buka essay yang terakhir kita review.
Nice.
Just because I'm like, wow, gitu, yang kayak you know kayak the issue, like, then you of course you come to me with maybe like the general idea of what you want to tell. Dan kalau kalian di sini dengar cerita Sahril, oh jadi kita harus nulis something personal nih yang kayak gini. While you don't really have that, and then you write that down and you come to Vina or me, siap-siap diinterogasi. Aku bakal nanya ke kamu kayak, oh, can you give an example? Kayak misalnya kamu bilang, I grow up in a very harsh condition. What kind of harsh conditions?
Kepo, intinya kepo ya kan San?
Kita kepo.
Iya. Karena dan emang kebetulan universitas juga bakal kepo banget. So we're going to kepo you when on the session.
And hey, I experienced A, but you cannot explain or give example
Give us
of
something
A.
more.
Kayak will that be, kayak bakal percaya nggak sih orang kalau kamu cerita tanpa kamu ngasih contoh, at least contoh ya, because experience itu nggak ada proofnya. You can only tell them from your perspective and your example. But if you cannot detail, kayak misalnya your essay, example, like you can elaborate here, it's good. Gitu. Terus kayak nggak bisa di-elaborate, well, you gotta change that topic then, gitu. Yeah, but in Sahril's case, it's very interesting karena kamu berarti emang menuliskan kamu punya passion untuk give back, ya. Kalau boleh spesifik, Sahril in what area? Karena kan public service itu kan lumayan broad ya. Apa is it
I did mention about my experiences, like working in NGOs and do the volunteer activities. So I did mention that, and now I said I've done that, and now I want to do more, like in a more macro way. So that's what I stated in my essay. Like, in order for me to do it more, to do it in more macro way, I need to equip myself with more academic, advanced academic qualifications. So that's why I need this degree. So I need to study more. I need to know more about this particular field in order for me to achieve that goal. So that's how I connect that.
Okay. Goal kamu apa?
Yes.
Do you remember what you wrote in your essay? Like, my goal is to maybe kayak build this atau change this atau apapun lagi. Because you said you want
Yes.
to do more, but what are, kan biasanya kalau kita bilang, oh, my plan is to improve A gitu. And then biasanya Vina sama aku kayak, how are you going to do it? Are you going to make like maybe workshop atau write whatever gitu?
Dan sometimes suka kita challenge, kayak aku kadang suka challenge kayak kadang suka banyak yang kayak kaget gitu, aku tanya kan kayak emang kamu ngapain, mau gini gitu. Jadi kayak interview sebenarnya, but then actually like it's brainstorming. Sometimes aku kayak nanya, okay, if you already, kan dia ngejelasin ya, iya karena nanti begini gitu kan. So aku bilang kayak, ya udah kenapa kamu nggak lakuin sekarang? Kenapa harus S2? Terus dia bilang kayak kadang ada yang kadang ada yang kayak tapi ada juga yang kayak oh enggak harus S2 karena nggak ada skillnya di sini or whatever that is. So aku bilang kayak
Exactly.
that need to be in the essay.
That you need to write.
That's it.
Exactly. Sama juga kadang bisa sebelak-belakan, misalnya target kamu adalah jadi mungkin officer yang di pemerintahan yang mungkin levelnya udah yang agak tinggi atau gimana. That you will need a qualification of having a master degree, right?
Yes.
Kamu boleh aja belak-belakan say, in order for me to reach this goal, I need to be qualified. So I need this master degree. While kayak deepening my knowledge and blah 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 gitu. Jadi you need to be very able to explain what your goal and how you are going to achieve it with the program that they are giving that they have there.
And you can be very ambitious as well.
Yes.
And this is something yang kita nih di sini di Indonesia find really hard to do that. And this is when Santika and I really push you. So for example, advice-ku yang aku tadi bilang dia bikin video essay, dia mau apply ke NYU juga gitu kan. Basically di situ aku ngedorong dia karena kita udah brainstorming kan, kenapa kamu harus ngambil this specific degree gitu kan. Terus dia bilang, well specifically because I want to stay in this company like in a long run gitu kan. I want to help build this company really well gitu kan. Terus tapi dia bilang for me to kind of like ladder up, I need to, so far tuh di Indonesia belum ada untuk this specific industry yang punya mathematical degree or not finance, it's mathematical degree specifically in master's degree level. Dan dia bilang technically I will be the first. Terus aku bilang kayak we have to mention that in the essay. Terus dia kayak really itu nggak terlalu kedengeran kayak I'm like really showing off ya. Well, you need to show off that way. Instead of you showing off, look at me, I'm currently working in this company for this so long. I graduated for like 4.0. They don't need all that. They already know, but they want to know like, okay, I need to study in your campus because if I study in your campus, look at where I'm gonna go. For the university, that's the thing that they want to hear because itu kan jadi kayak suatu proud buat mereka juga kan. Kayak them having Sahril at NYU Wagner itu buat mereka is kind of like, look, we ever had, you know, in the future nanti pas Sahril udah lulus gitu kan, we ever had an alumni yang begini terus nanti begini Sahril akan melakukan ini gitu.
Yeah, and I just want to add a little bit more. Last thing that I want to add about essay. Ini especially karena tadi aku baru lihat, jadi aku kayak I see one point that I cannot forget to share adalah sedetail itu. Jadi kayak Sahril here went so very detailed, just one topic in a health issue, dan satu topik, just that one topic. Jadi kayak misalnya kita ngomongin penyakit kan banyak sekali ya.
Yes.
You can just mention one, misalnya kayak DBD.
Yep.
Then when you talk about DBD in your essay, you need to know DBD at least di Indonesia.
Yes.
That's it. You have to master that topic in order for you to be able to explain it to people yang nggak tinggal di Indonesia.
Yep.
Mungkin DBD case di negara dia dikit, dia nggak bahkan maybe belum pernah dengar. You need to be able to explain that supaya mereka ngerti. Ya, Vina ya.
Yeah. Provide data, show if the situation in Indonesia is really that concerning, that everyone needs to know, that you want to bring this to the international attention or whatever that is. So, you need to show that you are the expert of that specific topic in your own country. So,
yes, and that includes being confident dan yang kayak tadi Vina bilang yang kayak loh jadi nyombong dong atau gimana. No, you are the expert. Terus if the advice biasanya advice bakal argue back to me, Vina, loh tapi kan faculty ini kan mereka pasti lebih ngerti kan, mereka mungkin orang-orang yang udah master atau gimana pasti lebih ngerti dong di bidang ini daripada aku yang baru mau daftar. But they're not in Indonesia. I said they're not. They didn't have your experience in this specific case. Walaupun mereka tahu ya mungkin secara teori atau secara apa, itu kan experience-nya beda. So you have to be able to explain that. Do you agree on that, Fahril?
Yes, sure.
Okay, cool. Jadi ini ada short question yang aku bakal jawab dari Lugis Adrianto again. I heard during this pandemic many universities in the US exempt itu artinya kayak making it optional atau tidak perlu GRE or GMAT requirement. Is that true? So I can say it's true. Banyak university yang waive kayak udahlah optional aja GRE GMAT-nya. But then kamu harus cek lagi ke masing-masing universitas karena nggak pukul rata, nggak semuanya gitu. Some programs still ask you to submit the GRE or GMAT regardless of the pandemic situation. Tapi
so
emang
actually,
banyak yang waive.
A little bit about that, I forgot to share as well. Karena kita sebenarnya udah lewat sih dari ngomongin standardized test, but sebenarnya dari sebelum pandemic pun, we already started to see that not like significant, but more universities in the US kind of like start waiving the GRE, not specifically GMAT untuk yang mau kayak MBA, mostly sih mereka masih kayak strong in asking for GMAT. Tapi kayak aku sempet ingat ada yang kayak share this article kayak basically mentioning this one particular university which is Yale, dimana kayak dia banyak berapa departemen gitu kan, kayak they make the news that moving forward they're going to basically waive the GRE. Ini before the pandemic, right? And then the pandemic hits, and then basically banyak yang udah cocok gitu kan. Terus banyak universitas yang follow through, dimana ada yang ngasih ininya optional gitu kan. Tapi exactly like what Santika mentioned, you definitely need to pay attention to like every department. But tapi memang lagi banyak sih lumayan sekolah yang kayak nggak minta GRE, dan kayaknya kalian nih yang teman-teman di Indonesia kayak pada denger juga, pada tahu juga about that. Jadi kayak banyak banget yang tertarik untuk apply ke US. Well, I'm happy.
Time.
We are happy.
Me too. Like I always say it's a good time for you guys to try to apply karena lagi waive GRE or GMAT. But saying that they waive atau make it optional does not mean that you shouldn't submit. Jadi intinya kalau aku sih, I will take this chance loh, kan optional. Jadi kalau nilai aku B aja, nggak apa-apa dong, kan it's optional, right? So I'm just gonna maybe show them that I have the effort to give it to you, but maybe I'm not the best, but I can do the extra mile. I give it to you even though it's optional. Itu menurut aku udah bisa agak plus point di mata mereka, dan juga jadi agak pembeda ya sama kamu sama applicant lain yang rasa lo it's optional ya udah nggak usah kumpul, tapi kamu optional tapi kamu kumpulin gitu. Mungkin bisa jadi plus gitu. Terus kita move ke
Alfian
NYU
kayak banyak yang mau apply ke NYU ya.
Hi Fahril, just out of curiosity, how's the learning process in NYU during the pandemic? Are the classes conducted online or face to face? Do you know whether this affects with admission process? Mungkin kalau untuk affect admission process harus lebih detail lagi, maksudnya affecting kayak gimana? Is it like nerima murid lebih dikit atau gimana? So Sahril, gimana? Is it face to face atau kebanyakan online? And kemarin pas aku kontak kamu untuk be our speaker, kamu kayaknya baru sampai beberapa hari dan masih quarantine ya? Kalau nggak salah ya. Kamu sekarang masih quarantine atau udah beres?
No. Udah beres.
Okay. So how's the classes? Is it online? Is it in person? Atau mix? Atau gimana?
So in NYU, it's kind of hybrid class. So some in-person classes and some is online. But for international students, we are required to at least take one in-person classes. So for now, I'm taking 2 in-person classes and 2 online. So it's dependent on us. At least we meet that requirement.
That's restriction ya. Karena a bit background on that, karena international students itu ada yang harus di-maintain, which is the student visa. Student visa itu mengharuskan kita ini punya masuk kelas lah, at least kayak berapa jam dalam seminggu in order for the visa nggak di-violate statusnya. Yeah, it's complicated, but that's the regulation. Dan you don't have to worry too much ya, karena kamu dibantu sama si admission officer-nya ya, Sahril ya.
Yeah.
Apa sih?
I also consult with Mas Iqbal from
Oh,
USMBC.
nice.
Yes.
Nice, yeah.
Prior to my departure, so
Yeah.
yes,
Tapi
kind of
Sahril, sebenarnya kalau si departemen kamu ngewajibin kamu harus be in person nggak? Maksudnya kayak, oke, karena ada beberapa advice-ku yang lebih ke level S1 sih, yang mereka udah mulai fall kemarin gitu kan, but for whatever reason they are not confident to actually fly to be in the US in person. So they decided to actually just do the whole spring semester in Indonesia, and the school allows it, the US government allows that as well. Walaupun kayaknya mungkin ada ya sekolah yang maybe just very few yang kayak ngewajibin harus like in person, tapi untuk kamu bebas ya, boleh kayak you actually be in Indonesia if you want to.
For my programs, it's optional actually. It's depend on us. The faculties, I mean, my programs, they do not require us to be here in the US. Even some of my friends still taking it online from their home countries.
Right.
But it's more like personal choices.
Yeah. I also have other advice yang kemarin sempet online dulu. Terus aku belum follow up lagi apakah dia berangkat atau tetap lanjutin online karena situasinya takutnya dia kayak masih nggak feel safe to travel and all that. But yeah, it's nice that the faculty and kayak programnya, universitinya, and also LPDP is giving the student choice. Jadi kayak kemarin yang LPDP, dia kayaknya juga sempat ngobrol juga sama kita kayak gini, tapi I forgot his name, but he was a speaker for us, when we started going online.
I wonder who.
Yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, dia online. Terus aku belum follow up dia udah berangkat apa belum.
Okay.
But LPDP out to allow them to take it online karena tahun lalu
Very
it was
nice.
like chaos.
Very
Tapi
nice.
tahun ini aku nggak tahu. I don't know whether LPDP will allow that again this year. Makanya kayak for you guys who want to apply, kalian harus be specific, kayak look at the changes ya, cari yang paling updated datanya.
Dan palingan San yang bagian tadi Riananya, do you know whether this affects with admission process? Palingan kayak aku ngelihat, karena aku banyak advice-ku yang kayak nanya, I don't know about you Santika, but ada beberapa yang kayak nanya, so if I want to start for like 2022, will that affect my chance to get a C? Karena banyak yang kemarin 2020 karena pandemi jadi pada defer, apa 2021 ya, jadi pada defer untuk yang kayak following term, jadi kan kayak ibaratnya kan seatnya kan keambil, jadi banyak ada beberapa advice-ku yang kayak will that affect? Well, I mean it depends. Kayak misalnya kemarin kita sempat undang tuh Tiara yang ngambil MPA ID di Kennedy HKS, Harvard Kennedy School. Dia basically share karena dia sebenarnya dia defer kan ke tahun 2021 ya, tahun ini gitu.
Yes.
Dia keterima buat 2020. Nah, si HKS ini bener-bener spesifik banget, cuman ngasih seat berapa doang bisa buat defer ke 2021. Sisanya karena banyak banget yang defer gara-gara pandemi kan, masih baru banget, masih happening banget gitu. Sisanya tuh dilempar sama HKS ke following years. Ada yang ke 2022 sampai ada yang ke 2023. I'm really glad that si Tiara dapat yang kelemparnya ke cuma 1 tahun setelah itu, which is 2021. Jadi I tell my advisor that you don't have to worry. Kayaknya hopefully other departments is doing the same thing, dimana kayak mereka nggak semuanya yang keterima 2020 dan minta defer diiyain buat yang kayaknya sih nggak kayak gitu. Kecuali kalau memang departemennya super besar ya, kayak misalnya kayak MBA we're talking about kayak Columbia alone kan MBA programnya kayak bisa sampai berapa ratus orang gitu kan. Mungkin kalau yang kayak departemennya super kecil yang kayak paling cuma kayak 20, 30, 40 people, they're going to be very particular in how many students that they allow to defer gitu.
Jadi to be honest, I think for that part you don't have to worry that much karena of course university di US akan adjust to the current situation, kayak mereka harus nge-handle-nya kayak gimana secara bisa admit berapa dan bisa defer berapa. Makanya kalau yang datang ke aku awal-awal masih bingung kayak step by stepnya mesti LPDP dulu kah atau LOA dulu kah, I will ask the student to find out whether they allow deferral atau enggak dulu, the admission officer. Kalau they allow deferral, then you can have more flexibility, right? Even though kadang dia bilang bisa defer, tapi kan kadang yang kayak tadi Vina bilang, dia ada limitnya, bisa cuma defer. So it's really case by case. Kita nggak bisa bilang, oh kamu pasti bisa defer, jadi gini aja. But then if you ask, terus mereka bilang, oh we do have deferral, paling nggak kamu udah ada kayak 50% there. So, udah agak safe lah.
And a little bit about deferral, something that you guys maybe want to also know. You know what? I just see that the US is just like too exclusive. That is just what they do is just so different. Karena aku juga baru tahu kemarin, karena waktu pas kita lagi pandemi ada teman-teman LPDP yang bukan ke US, yang ke Europe, dimana kan LPDP basically bilang karena lagi pandemi kayak gini, you can kayak minta defer kalau bisa gitu kan. Ternyata I heard that a lot of, if not all of the universities in European countries, they don't really have the system of deferral, right? Jadi kayak banyak yang dari mereka bilang kayak no, nggak ada deferral, terus jadi pada panik gitu kan. Sedangkan kalau yang di advice yang di EducationUSA kayak I'm requesting deferral and they give me that. Nah, deferral di US is very common, by the way, but one thing that you want to know is they actually do not like deferral because they accept you for particular academic term for a reason, because they want you to be there for that specific term, right? So misalnya kayak kemarin Sahril ketolak gitu kan, for whatever reason they just feel like, okay, Sahril cannot be with us this specific term. The good thing is Sahril apply again, and then they you know, for whatever reason they see improvement, I'm pretty sure, and then they think, okay, let's have Sahril on board, right? So they don't actually love the idea of deferral. So again, you have to be very like super detailed and very convincing on why you are requesting for a deferral. It's not like something that, ada sih beberapa program yang kayak super santai, yang kayak you just asking for deferral and they're just gonna give it right away. Ada yang kayak HKS for example, kayak they're not like, it's not easy to ask for a deferral. Like you need to have like a really strong reason why you are asking for deferral. So
yeah, but it's really interesting that shared HKS do that ya, kayak dia betul scatter out. It means aku juga nggak tahu apa kayak what they are thinking, but I'm thinking that they really like the student that they want to accept, makanya kayak dibagi aja gitu.
And the interesting part about kayak Tiara's case yang di HKS, dia tuh bilang ke aku kayak, Vina, like the Harvard kayak mereka ada kayak group or whatever gitu kan, they even put it on the website, they are very particular mentioning that we are not allowed deferral. Walaupun lagi pandemi, kayak karena mereka udah banyak banget terima kan. But then, I told her, no, email them. Find the person that you're in contact with. Ini aku ingat banget Tiara yang kayak, are you sure? Like, what do I say? They very clearly say, aku bilang, no, email them. Karena itu, the power of contacting the admissions committee is very, very powerful. Kayak what Sahril did, asking for the waiver and everything. So, she actually did. And then ada temannya dia, which is advice-nya Santika.
Did the same thing.
Yeah, advice-nya Santika yang ke HKS juga. She didn't contact the the university. But then aku waktu kebetulan lagi emang handle si Tiara kan, aku bilang kayak no, email them. And then
akhirnya
di respond sama si admissions committee-nya, dia bilang okay, I received your email, we'll discuss this. And then she got it. And then her friend didn't email the university, just cuma kayak nge-request deferral doang. Akhirnya kelempar ke 2022. Walaupun terakhir aku nanya ke Tiara, dia bilang iya dia lagi kayak nyoba, you know, follow what Tiara did by emailing the university. And I said great, hopefully she granted deferral. Yeah.
Itu juga sebenarnya I would say lebih cepat kamu kontak mereka, the better it is sih. Kayak, karena kan itu benar-benar kita ngomongin seat allocation ya, so you cannot just kayak laid back kayak udahlah bulan depan aja atau gimana. No, you just gotta do it right away. Sama kayak Sahril pas lihat ada fee waiver nih, and I think Sahril itu mungkin lihat satu uni. So you do the same thing with the rest of the university, right?
Yes, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah, and that's what you guys should be doing gitu. Kalau kalian lihat kok di uni A ada waiver ini ya, so maybe in other universities we also do that. If they don't like it, I just gotta ask gitu kan. That's really really good, and I commend you for that. Terus kita moving on, balik lagi sebenarnya ini ke extra dikit, just real quick answer dari Sahril kayaknya. Ini dari Slamet di Zoom. Just wondering how long did it take for Sahril before finally end up convinced about what he's going to write on the essay. Kayak berapa lama sih kamu take time untuk decide, oke, aku mau nulis topik ini? Lama nggak?
For deciding the topic, it's quite, well, it took me quite sometimes.
Wow.
Yes, for deciding the specific topics, right? And I think it's like couple of months,
Wow.
if I'm not mistaken. And then while writing this, the essay also took me like several months. Like I remember I did a Python session with Santika starting from April 2020 up
Wow.
to June.
Oke, kamu ingat.
Yes, it's several times like revising and then get
Mhm,
input from Santikas, and then I revise again, and until the end I think that okay, this is enough. So I just submitted because it's really close to the deadline, and then submitted.
Ya, aku nggak inget sih kita berapa revisi, but I think at least ini ada at least 3, 4 atau 5
Yes.
bahkan.
Yeah.
So but before you come to me with your essay, kamu lumayan lama juga ya mikir mau nulis apa. Kurang lebih
Yes.
berapa lama? Like few months? Ada nggak few months? 6 bulan?
No, not really. It's
3
just
bulan?
Yes.
Sekitar 3 bulan ya?
Yes.
Oke.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But ya, tapi kita juga kayak always tell people ya, San, maksudnya walaupun
Come
kayak
early.
dan and we actually see that ya, San. It
Yes.
seems like you guys are like listening to us. I'm really
Please listen to us.
Yeah, and
We want the best for you.
I'm
Yeah.
really glad. Like
Yeah.
I have one advisee yang dia datang terus dia bilang kayak, oh ya ini masih buat 2022, deadline-nya kapan? Masih nanti tahun 2022 gitu kan. Terus yang kayak, oh, take it easy, you know, kayak terus dia bilang kayak, no, I have my draft. Oh really? Okay, let's do this. And kita udah sesi keberapa? Udah sesi keempat atau sesi kelima gitu. Dan enak banget karena kayak we're still not there. It's still like a long way to go. Tapi aku bilang kayak, oh, you always have an improvement every time you come to Zoom, but that's what we want to see. To the point yang nanti tuh kayak aku bilang ke dia kayak aku selalu bilang ke semuanya, when you are ready to see Santika or me, when you have like your first draft and then the second draft, third revision, whatever revisions, save it,
Yes.
and then
We always
kalau
save
nanti,
it.
ya nanti kalau udah selesai, look it up again, like your final draft and then to your first draft, you will see the differences and
Mind blown.
yeah, and then you know a lot of people kind of like, oh, Vina, this is like, you know, I can't do this without, and I said no, I'm not doing anything, I'm just pushing it. This is all your work,
Yes.
but we are here
Agree.
to push you, we are here to guide you. Makanya sih kayaknya dari mulut ke mulut orang banyak yang kayak bilang esai Amerika.
Iya, Amerika aja udah seneng ya. But I want to emphasize kalau Sahril bilang di sini dia datang ke aku last minute-nya Sahril ini masih beberapa bulan sebelumnya.
Good.
Not beberapa hari. Okay, guys.
Yeah.
So, a few days or a few weeks before is where Vina and I are quite speechless and quite hard to guide you or give you input. Karena writing skills orang berbeda-beda. So if you come to us kayak cuman seminggu atau 2 minggu atau 3 minggu sebelumnya and your writing is not there yet, we will have a lot of trouble. Kayak Vina bingung ngasih input mau sebanyak apa, nanti kamu overwhelmed, and it's the same for me. So yeah, dan kalau kamu datang ke kita agak akhir-akhir deket deadline, can you imagine like those people yang mau apply kayak kamu juga pasti banyak. Dan mereka juga ke kita. So the flood of advices who ask for essay review will be more. Gitu. Jadi kalau kamu datang ke kita lebih early, of course it's an advantage for you and for us juga. Jadi it makes both party win-win solution aja gitu. Jadi keep in mind last minute itu beberapa bulan sebelum.
Yes, and then I like to tell people that kayak Santika and I, we have like different style of like handling this thing, right? Santika and I, we talk like on a daily basis almost. Dimana kayak basically Santika shared, you know, kayak I ask Santika kayak lo ngenolakin orang tuh berapa lama sebelum deadline, and then you said like a week. Yeah, H-7 Santika, right? For Santika, H-7 don't even like bother, and I appreciate that actually. For me, even if it's like just a couple of hours before the deadline, I will like review it. Tapi ya aku kasih disclaimer in advance, like are you ready to hear
You
my
ready to hear
comments?
this?
Yeah, because I'll be honest, right? Like I'll be saying like, no, I'm sorry, like this is not the essay that I usually like give feedback on.
Mhm.
Then there is no time, right? Like you have to submit it. And then ada yang kayak, oke deh nggak jadi deh gitu kan. Ada juga yang kayak, yeah it's okay, just fire it away gitu kan. Just tell me like the honest. Dan ada beberapa orang yang kayak, my deadline is tomorrow. What do you think about this essay? Dan aku bilang kayak, I'm sorry, it's not like the kind of feedback that I want to give. Like this is not ready, to be honest, gitu kan. So yeah, and I think
Yeah,
we have like
but-
some Tan?
Yeah, but totally kayak I tried to give a very last minute input on review kayak essay gitu, but it didn't work out on the advice. Jadi kayak dia bilang, okay, I can revise. I have time. I'm not doing anything. And then I give the input, and then dia bilang, okay, I'm gonna revise ya Santika. And then tomorrow the advice just emailed me, I'm sorry, I cannot revise it, so I just submitted that. So
That's like wasting your
he
time.
or she came to me for an input, and he and I wasted the same time. Jadi kayak sayang gitu loh. So I feel like I could use that time for other advisee who still have plenty of time to improve gitu.
Ya,
So
tapi
that's just
ya,
it.
tapi contohnya kayak kemarin kan banyak banget kan sekolah-sekolah yang deadline-nya Februari 15 kemarin, which is a couple of days ago. I'm very particular on the advisees. Kayak misalnya ada beberapa advisee-ku, kayak aku kemarin ada kayak 4-5 orang advisee yang kayak udah back and forth yang sebenarnya
Yes,
essay-nya udah
yes.
almost final, tapi benar-benar kayak cuma tinggal dipoles sedikit. Ada yang aku satu dua advisee yang benar-benar kayak deadline-nya, Hai Vina, my deadline ini ntar tengah malam gitu kan, kayak masih mau nggak kayak ngecek. Aku bilang kayak of course, bring it here gitu. Cuman kalau misalnya ada beberapa orang yang kemarin nge-emailin kita yang kayak they've never
First
done
timer.
advising before, ya first
Exactly.
timer and
Yeah.
yeah.
First timer we cannot, because when we read the essay kita juga we didn't really know
The story.
content. Karena kan kita kalau review terus kan we get to know the person and
Very personal.
kayak detail banget kan ininya kan essay-nya kan. Jadi kalau misalnya kamu pertama kali datang terus essay kamu detail tapi kita belum ngerti kamu mau ngomongin apa, that's gonna be very hard for us. So kalau untuk recurring advisee ya of course you guys will be prioritized karena kita first come first serve. Tapi kalau anak-anak yang udah rutin datang dia udah tahu, they know the drill, kayak udah revisi selesai langsung email Santika langsung email Vina. Jadi kayak paling duluan gitu.
Yeah, it's really interesting in the chat. Ada Iren. Well, Iren
Hi,
Iren
Iren.
basically kayak rajin banget nonton event kita kan. And then
Yes.
Akhirnya Iren datang ke Zoom ketemu sama aku di shift aku. And then Iren was basically Iren is the person yang aku tadi barusan bilang kayak she came and then she said, oh no ini masih lama banget kok. And then I was like, yeah take it easy. And then she said,
Couldn't stop
I have my
typing
draft.
everything
And
you
then,
write.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
with Iren we actually already have like nggak tahu, I think like 3-4 times. But basically Iren said when I had my first consultation with Kafina, my fingers couldn't start to type everything. That Kafina
You
said,
could
but I
have just
love it.
recorded audio. Vina lupa kasih tahu ya.
Karena sometimes kayak when I talk, because I love talking about essay and I just love everything that you guys have in mind to do.
Yeah, we learn
for
a lot of new
Indonesia,
things.
right? So when I'm like really talk about essay, I'm like very firing up, like very excited and everything. And then sometimes advisorku tuh kayak udah nggak even ngelihat kamera, kayak mereka nulis, ada yang kayak bunyi ketik-ketikan, aku sambil ngomong gitu, yang kayak I feel like I'm talking to myself, but yeah, no, this is what we are here basically for. We are here for
Exactly.
you guys, yeah.
Ya, and it reminds me dulu pas aku kayak ngasih input essay Sahril juga kita sempet kayak ngomongin panjang lebar about a very specific topic yang Sahril tulis ini.
Yeah.
Kita yang kayak, Sahril kenapa ininya begini, sampai aku belajar about that particular topic yang you are expert in, sampai aku kayak, oh begitu. So yeah, we all learn new stuff and it's very fun for Vina and me, and that's why we keep on reading essays. Dan gak ada cut off-nya ya Vina, jadi kayak, oh kalian bulan apa sih yang nggak review essay? Gak ada.
Ada. We were here
Nah,
all
nggak
year
ada.
long, and you don't have to think about like the session will be kind of like scary or formal or anything like
Nope.
that. Bahkan kita tuh kadang suka ngobrol. Aku ada yang kayak salah satu siapa namanya
Yeah.
Dwi. Mungkin saya kenal dia PDPBIT
Yes.
juga. Dwi, yes.
Dwi,
Dwi
yeah.
tuh kocak, dia lucu banget. I can't wait until he got accepted. Dia apply ke beberapa sekolah kemarin. Dia tuh yang
NYU
sampai
as well.
kayak udah revisi dia sampai ngitungin. Karena setiap kali sesi aku bilang kayak, no Dwi bukan kayak gini, maksud aku tuh gini-gini. Aduh Kak Vina gitu. Jadi belum juga nih, belum. Oke gitu. Jadi ntar dia hilang tuh kayak berapa minggu tuh datang lagi kayak. Aku bilang Dwi, what do you think I'm gonna say? Terus dia kayak deg-degan gitu kan. I don't know. Aku bilang, this is so good. Hah, beneran dia bilang gitu. Kan kayak, Kak ini tuh revisi berapa dia bilang gitu. But no,
Which
I
is so
love this
funny.
finally. Yeah, so it's going to be like
Yeah,
really
yeah.
funny. So yeah, it's going
Yeah,
to be
and
so much fun.
and that reminds me, kayaknya Sahril, I forgot either Sahril yang ngerekomen Meti ke aku atau Meti yang rekomen Sahril ke
Oh,
aku, I
Meti,
don't
yeah.
know. But both of you are LPDP,
Yeah.
and then sometimes Sahril ngomong kayak Meti ngomong ini Sahril, terus I'm like, wow, okay, you both got it. Jadi I'm just happy for both of you.
Yes.
Dan si Meti juga berkali-kali juga bolak-balik aku, even more than Sahril, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, that's
So
very fun.
yeah, so kita ada
Okay,
I think
Instagram
like
ya.
yeah, few questions. Ini ada dari Mutiara. Well, basically Mutiara is my advisee yang mau ke NYU, yang aku tadi barusan basically
Yeah.
mention mau apply ke NYU. Dear Sahril, what did you do differently on the second attempt of your application? Ini kayak Mutiara siap-siap kalau ketolak.
Waduh,
Which I
Yeah.
kind of like doubt it, but I don't want to jinx it. Hopefully you got it.
I'm currently applying.
Yeah, I'm currently applying to NYU too, and would like to be prepared. What did you do
Yeah, and
differently?
would like to prepare. Terus ini sebenarnya ada satu pertanyaan yang also in
Mirip
the
ya?
same, topik ya, second
Yeah, do you wanna read
attempt-nya
it,
Sahril
Santika?
dari Fatih Hatul di YouTube. Semoga kamu masih nonton. Hi Sahril, I'm curious about what's the most significant change you made in your first
First application.
application, which was rejected, to your successful application. Did you revise your essay a lot?
Nice question. Love it. Thank you
Yeah,
guys for the
love it.
question. Yeah.
Gimana Sahril? What are the changes?
Well,
Can you update us?
So many changes. So many changes actually.
Apa aja? Coba.
So first about the essay.
Hmm.
For my first attempt, it is quite in a hurry. I mean, I didn't have a advising session with America before. I don't know how my essays look like. I just submitted, and also I didn't submit my GRE. So that's for my first attempt, and then I got rejected around in March or April, if I'm not mistaken.
Yang lain
After
sama?
that,
CV and everything sama?
and resume as well. If I remember, I submit my Europass kind
Damn.
CV.
With the picture and everything?
That's one of my biggest mistakes.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Like
Okay.
pictures, I have my pictures, my
Right.
so many information there. And
That's a
then
good
I
lesson.
did, around April I did a consultation with Santika, and then I once asked Santika to review my resume as well. Also one from Mas Zaki in Malang.
Yeah.
So I asked several EducationUSA advisor.
Yeah.
So I did revise my CV first, and then my essay with Santika, and then I did take my IELTS in July, and then 1 month later I took my GRE. So that's basically the that I did, and I did mention it in my essay, my applicant essay, mentioned about how I did advising session with America as well. So I mentioned it in my essay.
Oh wow. So there's that additional essay untuk re-applicants ya. Jadi namanya
Yes,
re-applicant essay. Terus kamu mention di situ, kamu nulis di essay itu kalau kamu did advice with EducationUSA.
Yes,
Yeah.
for several months. I did mention it. I tell them what I've been doing so far before my second attempt. So I mentioned it there. Everything's there in my essay.
Yeah. See, everything counts if you are applying to US universities karena the fact that their system is so holistic. Dia orang nggak mau cuman kamu nih kasih perfect grade kayak 4.0, terus kayak seabrek semua achievement, but essay-nya plain, kayak cuma nge-recite semua yang sudah kamu tulis di CV. They don't want that. They want something yang holistic. Okay, kamu someone yang can make improvement and they can see that from what you wrote. Kayak sebelumnya aku ngapain, terus sekarang aku put this effort and that effort. But rest assured, Vina and I don't think we know anyone in the admission office of NYU. So you do that all of your own. Jadi itu purely kamu keterima karena kamu, bukan karena kamu mention EducationUSA at America.
Yeah. Tapi berarti to wrap up that particular question, yang paling the part that you really did differently itu lebih di essay ya, Sahril?
Yes, essay and some requirements. I mean, I just want to show them my effort. Like I really want to go there, and then this is my effort. So I just
Yeah.
show everything in my essay.
Yeah, and we're actually loving those people yang justru pernah ke-reject. I know it sounds weird, but that those people who got rejected, karena dari bekas tahun 2019, ada beberapa advice-ku yang there are some people who got rejected, but then we were stay in touch, and then I asked them, so what's next? Ada yang mereka bilang kayak, oh, I go to like other countries, which is totally fine, although I'm really sad about it. But beberapa, the majority of them, they're actually, oh, I'm applying again to the same campus, and I love those people. Because ada beberapa orang yang kayak ngelihatnya ketika sudah di-reject pertama kali, they don't want to apply again because for them like, what makes the university want to have me again if they already reject me the first time, right? But then aku malah bilangnya, no, see it different way. Kalau aku malah ngelihatnya the fact that kamu udah ke-reject sekali sama kita, and then you're very determined to actually wait for another whole year and then applying to the same program again. For them, that's like, whoa, this person
Dedication.
is very determined. Yeah, exactly, the dedication. So, Hans yang kemarin kita yang kita undang buat MBA Columbia, ke-reject, akhirnya apply lagi kedua kali, dapat. Sahril, the living proof as well. So,
And sometimes I like to say this. I think I heard it from the admission officer langsung apa gimana, but it stuck with me, so I keep on repeating that to kayak events like this.
Yep.
Sometimes when you're rejected, it's not because you are not good enough for the university, but there's just something in the application process pemilihan itu mungkin mereka udah got enough international students.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Kayak poolnya udah pas aja gitu, and then they just saw you, and then kayak aduh sayang banget ya, tapi kita udah terlanjur nerima segini banyak, and all of them kayak there's no other slot anymore. Kayak mereka they have allocation. So sometimes it's not you that's not good enough.
Absolutely.
So you gotta try again. Bahkan waktu itu kayak ada advice yang di-emailin kayak we really want you, tapi kayaknya gimana gitu. Terus kayak okay, can you apply again next year? Malah disuruh apply tahun depan.
Great.
With the rejection letter loh. Jadi kayak rejection letter itu says please reapply tahun depan.
Wow.
That's like, why? If you don't want me, kayak ngapain you told me?
Exactly. Yeah. The perfect example, of this is Columbia SIPA. Some of you probably already know Columbia SIPA is very, very popular. They accept a lot of Indonesians, but then because a lot of other Indonesians heard about Columbia SIPA being, accepting a lot of Indonesian, jadi kayak makin banyak gitu kan yang apply. Dimana kayak aku bilang, you gotta be careful. You probably do not want to put Columbia SIPA as your first choice because although they accept a lot of Indonesians, but then at the end of the day, they can't accept everyone. So banyak banget advice-ku yang apply ke Columbia SIPA like 1-2 years back, waktu lagi heboh banget orang-orang pada apply ke Columbia SIPA, everyone's applying to Columbia SIPA. And then yang kayak aku bilang, wow ini strong banget loh ya saya kamu, bener. Tapi aku bilang, aku kasih heads up, berhati-hati, kayak I'm not gonna be surprised if you don't get accepted. And then some of them don't get accepted, and I said, it can probably a lot of reasons, probably, but I'm guessing it's just like the seat. They have to maintain diversity. Let's say 100 amazing Indonesian applicants apply to Columbia SIPA. Are they going to accept all 100? Of course not. Probably they're just going to take like, I don't know, 20, 30, 40. The rest, mereka harus kayak, sorry, you have to,
karena diversity itu penting.
Yes, for the university, diversity is number one. Absolutely.
In the classroom, ya.
Yeah. So, actually aku selalu kayak suka banget dapat advice yang semakin programnya itu super jarang yang nggak pernah dengar. Kayak contoh programnya Sahril, aku kayak I never heard that program gitu kan. Terus kayak ada advice-ku yang kayak ngambil spesifik, like LLM in human rights, or aku yang kayak, whoa, that's amazing, compared to people yang kayak, hey Vina, I want to apply MBA. I mean, not that I'm saying like I don't like, like helping people with MBA. It's always great. But then, jurusan yang kayak super, jarang banget diambil sama
great.
orang. Yeah.
So di sini ada masuk question lagi dari Listia, and it's the more or less the same question yang tadi kita berbahas. So I hope you got the answer as well, Listia. So what Sahril did differently is definitely ada re-application essay, itu yang pertama attempt kan, of course dia bukan re-apply jadi nggak ada, and dia improve on the essay, dia juga sub GRE, take IELTS, which submitted the higher score in the second attempt. Of course, that's an improvement banget. Terus apa lagi? Udah ya, Sahril, that's it ya. Letter of recommendation, I don't want to. it has been in my mind. Sama nggak letter of recommendation?
No, I think one or two recommenders.
Okay,
So
cool.
they asked for 2 recommendations, but I submit 3 recommendations. So I yes, so I
Extra
more.
mile.
Yes.
Okay,
Tapi
cool.
yang bagian pertama yang waktu ditolak daftar pertama sempat reflect nggak kenapa ditolak? Did we cover that?
No, I didn't, but that's a very good
Kayak
question. Thank you, Vina.
if you can guess, Sahril, can you tell like what made you reject it the first time?
The first thing is probably my essay. I don't feel like my essay is really strong at the time. If compared to the one when I did a session with Santika, so I think it's totally, so much difference. And then the second one is my resume. I did submit the Europass.
Oh ya,
Europass.
itu poin itu juga tadi aku lupa.
Which is totally a
No.
mistake. Yes.
Yeah, but
Totally.
that's like a mistake that you realize gitu. Jadi kayak in the first place you have to realize dulu kan kamu kayak salah di mana sih, kurang di mana sih. And how long does
Yes.
it take you to reflect ya?
Right
Atau-
after the, right after the announcement, I just searched through the website as well, and then I see, oh yes, and then I learned about the CP and resume stuff. They actually have that in the website. Like this is the template that they want. But it's like I don't realize that
Okay.
before.
And then-
Intinya kamu berarti the first attempt yang ketolak itu mungkin what's your conclusion? Apakah kamu kurang preparation? Apakah kurang waktu? Apa gimana?
Dan at the time itu kayaknya terlalu singkat deh. Soalnya because I got the scholarship around December and then I applied early decisions in January. So it's like
Okay.
1 month.
Yeah,
So that's
just
why
1 month.
yeah,
you
just
don't
1
want to do
month.
that.
Yeah,
That's why
nggak bisa.
it's really bad decision at the time. Because at the time I really want to to study started in fall 2020. So I want to apply
Yeah,
early this
yeah.
at the time.
So, ya, Vina sama aku juga suka bilang kayak mendingan jangan rush, tapi kayak when you have the application, dan ya itu only doable kalau kamu kayak come to us prepare in advance masih ada waktu. Kalau sebulan kan of course kayak masih overwhelmed.
Rush banget, and
all
you're in a panic mode.
you're in a
course.
panic mode. Jadi kayak
Yeah.
you
I
even didn't
was.
see the CV that they already give you a template, kamu tinggal ikutin, tapi kamu juga didn't realize. So that's a panic state actually.
Yeah, and it's really nice in the chat. Selamat Riyadi. Basically saying it's so uplifting to hear advice not to take any rejection personally. Absolutely,
Love it.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think I have one last question di sini dari Henda in Instagram. I hope you're still watching.
Still watching, yeah.
Sebenarnya ini about essay and just real quick. Hello, I have a question. Can I mention professor who I really want to work with on my essay? And of course, I provide my reason
Absolutely.
for that. Harus.
Exactly.
Sebenarnya.
Kayak aku aja sama Santika udah kayak nih.
Ya, itu sebenarnya harus. Bahkan kalau kamu bisa dig deeper, like what is the professor currently doing, atau what he did well atau she did well that you really want to learn from. Sahril, you also reflect on this, right? You agree on this?
Yeah, because for NYU we have that specific prompt about that, like which professor did interest me the most and why.
Amazing.
So
Yep.
I have to explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, even to the point, aku tadi barusan balas juga di chat. To the point where I always tell my advisees, makanya this is like a good reason why you want to really start doing all this very early in a day, in days, because you want to probably contact these professors, right? Karena ada beberapa program juga yang dia juga ada pertanyaan gitu nanti pas kalian mau submit everything, upload documents and everything. Ada beberapa program apa gitu yang kayak dia nanya, have you ever like, in correspondence with one of our faculty members? And I told you, right? Like, and then dia kayak, ya aku seneng banget mbak, pas kayak when you told me that I need to contact the professor, I didn't know what I was doing, kayak gak ngerti ngapain dia ngontak professor. And then dapat pertanyaan itu dia bilang kayak, yes, I was like in correspondence with this professor. And then now the person is actually, waiting for the result and everything. But yeah, very very personal approach banget kalau mau S2 di US, which is like always nice.
And for me itu sebenarnya aside from personal, it shows your level of interest and determination and kayak spirit kamu in order to attend that competitive program, that university. Kayak if you kayak know kayak ini programnya apa aja sih, coursesnya penting, ada program, mungkin ada capstone-nya, mungkin ada internship programnya, terus profesornya yang ini habis do this research, makanya aku suka banget sama program ini, mau banget belajar sama dia. That's going to be different if you compare to applicants yang kenapa kamu daftar ke NYU? Because it's NYU. That's going to be very different, right? Then I choose NYU karena this program is so suitable for me. My goal ini, the professor did this. See, udah berapa poin ekstra? Udah 3. Itu belum yang lain-lain lagi gitu kan. So that's what you all need to work on. And tadi real quick, ini kita masih ada waktu dikit ya. Nah, atau we're done with this.
Yeah, we're wrapping up, but we can talk just a very tiny bit.
Just a tiny bit. Okay. So tadi Sahril mention dia ganti letter of recommendation. Dan itu juga big point kalau Vina suka mention letter of recommendation sama itu faktor yang lumayan besar untuk kita dilihat lebih prospektif sama the admission office. So Sahril, can you tell me a bit about how you decide to change the letter of recommendation, and apakah orang yang rekomend kamu on your second attempt itu lebih dekat dengan kamu atau gimana?
Good question.
So it's more like the one who recently worked with me. So I asked them to provide me this letter. So previously, it's only I don't say it's not really strong, but kind of like I just want to give something new, something like that. Like I don't want to give them like, well, the same recommendations that I
want to show the
before,
effort, right?
I want to show my effort to them. Yeah. So I just try to find another recommender that I feel close to me, and then I ask them to submit it for me. So
Wow.
And you know what, like I love tadi pertanyaannya Listia kan, kayak waktu itu pertama sempat reflect gak kenapa ditolak, and then basically the answer dari Sahril kan ya 3 itu kan, essay, resume, sama letter of recommendation. And then I was like, I want to tell you guys that we got you covered because those 3 documents are basically part of our monthly events. So resume sama letters of recommendation kita jadiin satu karena it's very straightforward. But then I always say in the letters of recommendation session how letters of recommendation is really really important. Almost kayak 11, 12 with the essays. Cuman bedanya ini ditulis sama orang lain. So but it's actually very powerful, right? So I totally agree with Sahril untuk yang ke the second attempt to probably, karena sometimes we don't know why we got rejected. Maybe because of one of the reasons is because of the letters of recommendation, right? So it's actually a really great move to actually find another recommenders. And then resume, we covered that, and then essay. So, and I'm glad that we have all the dates ready for those topics next month. So you feel free to join the session.
Yeah. And to add to that, Ril juga nambahin juga in the second attempt yang nggak dilakukan di first attempt itu adalah submit GRE, and we will also get you covered on that next month. We're going to have that. And he also improved his IELTS. Dia tes retake IELTS lagi, yang lebih tinggi di submit second application buat ke NYU yang keterima. So from this session, I learned that maybe next time kalau ada advice aku mau nanya, boleh nggak aku submit same letter of recommendation? Yeah, I will say no to that. Learning from Sahril's experience. Karena banyak yang nanya kan, boleh nggak sih kayak yang sama, cuma ganti dates atau gimana? And usually we say, yeah, it's fine, right? And because there's no restriction in that, and there's no direction atau specific instructions di website university-nya. But what Sahril was thinking is quite, menurut aku, bener juga ya, kalau misalnya kamu reapply, tapi kayak sama aja, kayak what's the point of you reapplying? And that's why he made all of that changes, which resulted in a very, satisfying result yang keterima. So yeah, a lot of lesson learned. Thank you so much, Sahril. I can't thank you enough for this. Thank you banget, udah pagi-pagi banget dari kamu kayak subuh di situ udah chat aku di WhatsApp just to ask kayak which room So yeah, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to your journey in FW. And of course, walaupun kamu udah keterima, if you have any question that maybe we can help, don't hesitate to contact Fina or me.
Yes.
All right, I'll give it back
Thank
to
you.
Fina, and thank you everyone for watching.
And of course, I want to say thank you for my colleague Santika for helping. This is like our first time since we were going virtual to actually do the events together. But then of course, Saril, like I can't thank you enough for making the time. Really appreciate it. We'll definitely stay in touch because sometimes I like to invite like the same speaker on a different time, but maybe hopefully when you're done, when you graduate from NYU, we're going to invite you again. But then, of course, I would like to say thank you to everyone who is watching the sessions. I'm really glad that we've been seeing like a lot of familiar names, those who have gone to the advising room, see Santika or me, or maybe those who are this is your first time, maybe still kind of like wanted to see like should I go to Education USA at America advisors and stuff. But always like the ending goal of us having this session is to actually put the words out there that we are here for you guys, because I'm still kind of like surprised just the fact that there are still a lot of people out there have never heard about Education USA at America or Education USA in general. So I want to just put the words out there. Please share to your friends that we are here. The services are free of charge. I know it's like ada beberapa orang yang kayak sampai, what do you get out of this? Like, are you sure like giving this service for free? And I'm like, yeah, don't worry about it. I still get paid and everything. I still get my days off. I still have a life outside this, but we are here for you guys. Basically, we want you to see, to be, very successful, end up in the US and stuff. So please stay tuned to our upcoming events. Tomorrow will be the last event for this month, and then we're going to start again in March. Okay? Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Ed America team. Have a good night, and I'm gonna give it back to Maya.
All right, thank you so much, Kak Fina, Kak Santika, and also Kak Sahril. That was a very insightful session. We hope to see you again next time. Now, the rest of you, please don't go anywhere because I have the name of the winner for our social media quiz today. Earlier in this event, I asked you guys, is it true or false that Columbia University is the oldest institution of higher education in the United States? And the right answer is false. Established in 1636, Harvard is the oldest institution of higher education in the United States. And our winner for today is Heru Wibowo from Instagram. Congratulations, Heru. Now, as I mentioned earlier in the beginning of this event, EdAmerica is having a very special activities, and we're giving out an iPhone 12 Pro. Wow! And how do you participate? You can participate by posting a picture of 10 lines poem of your own authentic creation and post it on your Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, and simply tag our social media at ATAmerica. For further information, please visit bit.ly/BHMExpress. Now, you may be wondering, how can I develop an awesome idea for a place like this? Easy. You can go to our website at www.atamerica.or.id, click create an event, and collaborate with us. All proposals coming to us will be reviewed, and your event might be featured here soon. And while you're on our website, don't forget to subscribe to our newsletters for weekly event updates sent straight to your inbox. Alright everybody, I think that wraps up this episode. It has been really fun, but unfortunately we have to say goodbye for now. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at ATAmerica for event updates, fun content, and so much more. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. Well, thank you so much everybody for tuning in. Happy weekend!